sit down.
Oh my goodness. We've been away for, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? I don't know. And I can't get the buttons pressed in the right order.
He's rusty. He's rusty.
Welcome, everybody, to our Between the Seasons bonus episode of Build, Paint, Play. I'm Dave.
And I'm Jake. And today we are joined by the fantastic Phil, who you might recognize from the Glacial Geek. Nope.
Woo!
Let me mute that. My phone is going off in the background here.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Welcome, Phil. Very cool to have you. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of things tonight. Basically, we'll be talking about your channel, your enthusiasm for all things hobby, and your spot on the Army Painter factory team.
Sounds great. I'm totally down for that. That sounds great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So in the chat, we've got Luis saying greetings and salutations to all members of the Brotherhood of Miniature Painting. Scott Radom is here. Dave Hummel's here. Rich Ralph is here. Mark Maxey's here. Jeff Smith's here, and already he has a message redacted.
Oh, there we go.
No, sorry, retracted. My mistake. Slightly different meanings.
Yeah.
But welcome, guys. We'll probably have a few more folks joining us, but we'll get ready to jump in. So just quickly, Phil, before we go too much further, Jake, how you doing? How's it been? How's your June been? Let's talk about not today. Let's talk about the June.
Sure. It's been super busy. So we the Alpha Omega turned 7 this year, and it was on the 17th. So we were trying to do a bunch of stuff to get stuff ready. So 2 of my regulars and 1 of my part-timers came in, and we basically completely reorganized the front end of the store. It's a lot more streamlined, but like that was basically like 2 of my mornings. And then we've been getting a lot of stuff ready. We have like new merch, and we have new T-shirts, new hoodies, new ball caps, and then this past weekend, for everybody who's a gamer of other stripes, it was free RPG day. So this whole weekend was nuts in a good way. It was crazy, but it was a lot of like prep and getting ready. And then we have the mayor of Quincy coming tomorrow to do a ribbon cutting ceremony for like our grand reopening on our new location and kind of celebrating 7 years. So yeah, it's been a lot of chainsaws in the air. And then I've also been spending a lot of time talking to Adam from Army Painter and Kat, getting ready for San Diego Comic-Con, just kind of like lining up all the ducks. We've talked about it before, but obviously Dave and I are both going to be at San Diego doing painting lessons for the folks at San Diego Comic-Con, and we're bringing Army Painter with us. I was able to use some of the connections that allowed us to get in to kind of like wedge the door open and like kind of hold it open so Army Painter could get in. So they'll be there, and I'm working with them to try to figure out how that's gonna, like, what that's gonna look like. So yeah, it's been a lot. I mean, it's good. It's all good stuff, but it's been like I don't want to let anybody down, and I don't want to drop anything. So it's been hectic.
Right. Cool. That's good. Phil, how's your June been?
It's been nuts. It started out with a bang. Yeah, seriously, it's the same thing. It started out with a bang. I went to TMX, which is the Tabletop Minions Expo that Uncle Adam from Tabletop Minions puts on up in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. So that was a ton of fun. Got to see a bunch of other creators and a bunch of people that were really awesome and had a really good time up there.
How big is that show?
Yeah, what's that?
How big is that show?
There was like 100 people, so it wasn't like huge, which was awesome because it just felt like it was just like a bunch of people getting together to just have fun and enjoy the hobby and enjoy each other's company, which was rad, which was super
Nice.
cool. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
really enjoyed that. And it kind of like, it really like reminded me how much like I love going to the big cons, and like Adepticon was like mind blowing and stuff, but it was just so cool to go to like a smaller convention where you just felt like it was almost like you were at home with a bunch of friends having fun. And it really just like really reminded me of like the importance of like all areas of the spectrum of the hobby and how much it like fuels you. So that was super cool to be able to do that. And it was also awesome just to be able to be there and help support him, you know, a fellow member of the factory team and such. So, but it was really cool to be able to do that. And then quickly after that, I came back and I started getting myself prepped because I just had bariatric surgery. So
Okay.
I'm a week out from that, and everything went well, but it felt like it was a slog to get through. Like 10 days before the surgery, I got COVID, and then it was like, oh man, it's been a mess. It's been a crazy couple weeks. So I feel that energy, Jacob. Just like,
Yeah.
but you know, hopefully, I feel like we're getting back at like, you know, the turning back and forth finally kicked in, and we got it back on track. So I think we're good to go at this point. So I'm, you know, knock on wood, recovering well, and everything seems to be going well, and I'm happy. But a crazy time. So.
Nice.
But yeah, a lot of fun. I'm feeling great and excited for, you know, going forward. So at least I got that going.
what's the next show you're doing?
I think the next one is going to be Nova. So I think that's the next one I'm going to at this point. I kind of didn't want to pack my summer too much because I knew I was going to be, you know, having the surgery, and I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to go. It turns out very well. So
Nice.
And I've got some family vacation going to Key West. We always go every year with me and my family at Key West. So that's like our happy place. We get to go to there. So I've got some traveling I'm going to be doing, but I think the next big one, the next, you know, thing that event thing that I'm going to is Nova. So
right.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to set aside some time. Dave's at Nova every year, and this year I'm actually going to be there with Kat.
Oh, nice.
So I'll be there. I'll be there the whole show. So
cool. I will also be there with Army Painter. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I actually drove past the Washington Hilton on Saturday night on my way home from going to see The Church.
Oh, nice.
Awesome Australian band. They've been around for 40 plus years.
Oh, nice.
And
very cool.
Certainly by looking at the audience, you could tell they've been around for that long. But it was fantastic to be able to sort of sit there and watch everybody walk by and go, oh, so that's what I look like.
Yeah. I saw recently there was like a map of the country, and it was like most popular dad rock bands in each of the states. And Linkin Park was like a whole bunch of the states. And I was like, that's not dad rock. That's like really cool young kid rock that only cool people want to listen to. Oh God.
Phil's all greetings, fellow kids.
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely what it felt like. I actually felt the white hairs like growing even further into my beard as I watched this infographic.
Dude, I get it. I was listening to a song the other day, and I mentioned something. I was at the shop, and I said something about, I was like, oh, I love this track. And one of the kids went, what is this? And I forget what it was, but it's not like it's not like it was Zeppelin. Like it was a band from like the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's this band. And they were like, I don't think I know that band. And I was like, how old are you? And he was like, I'm 17. And I was like, I feel old. But then today, I had some good news. When I was getting my physical today, the doctor goes, I made a comment, and I said, well, I'm gonna be 49 next month. And she goes, well, you're still really young. And I was like, oh, bless you. And I was like, no, it's really nice to hear. Yeah, she was like, she's like, you're in great shape, and like, you know, she's like, she's like, I would never have guessed that you're in your late 40s, and I was like, well, that's some good news, I guess.
Yeah, I had the discharge nurse said the same thing to me. She was like, well, you're still young and, you know, and good to go, and I'm like, thank you very much for calling me young. I don't necessarily feel that on a day-to-day basis. Maybe you can have a discussion with my back.
Fantastic. That's awesome. I was happy that my daughters wanted to go along as well. So my 15 and my 12-year-old were there singing along to a bunch of the.
You've raised them right. You've raised them right.
Yeah. Raised, indoctrinated. You know,
same thing, right?
Yeah. Tomato, like whatever.
Yeah.
So Dave, how was your June? You kept asking us how was yours.
It's been a bit quieter. My youngest went on a school camp for a week, and then my oldest, when she came back, my oldest went on a school trip to Spain for a week. No, 9 days, 10 days, something like that. They went hiked part of the Camino de Santiago.
Cool.
When I say part of it, it was about 80 miles of it. So that was pretty great experience for her. The Kickstarter wrapped up on June 7th.
I saw your new smoke preview.
Yeah, the smoke test. Ran the smoke test yesterday, but I've got some more news on that coming a little bit later. Yeah, I'm just thinking about we're going to start getting ready for Historicon, and then a week after that is San Diego Comic-Con. Then my mum comes into town for 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks.
Oh, MumCon, dude! MumCon is rare. It's not a huge show, but it's it's in demand. So
it's rocking. I've heard.
Yeah,
I've heard.
Yeah. Special guest, Mum.
And
are you and your mum going to do a panel?
Yeah, we
Nice.
we will do a panel on Australian food, ways to prepare.
Oh, I can't wait. You'll be like, yes, Lucy, you had a question, and Luce can ask a question, and then you can kind of go on to the next question.
Exactly. Here's how you cook lamb chops. My mother and I cook lamb chops very differently.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
That'll be a good discussion there. But and then Nova, yeah, like at the end of the summer.
Dude, the worst one this year, I think, is going to be the fact that. So I've got a pretty good run up. Like I didn't do Origins, which was this past weekend. I didn't do Origins, and then I don't think I really have anything in like I don't have anything like in the summer until the end of July, and then it's like San Diego Comic-Con, and then originally I was just going to fly home and be here for like a week, and then fly out to Gen Con just for the weekend. But apparently now I'm in talks with Army Painter to go out for the whole show, so I'm going to literally be at San Diego, come home for like 3 days. And then fly back to Indianapolis, and I'm there for like 4 or 5 days, and then come home. I'm here for like a week and a half, and then my wife and I are taking the first vacation we've taken in like 3 years, and then I come home from that, and then the following weekend it's Granite State Comic-Con in New Hampshire. But like Phil, like you were saying, that one's really small, and it's weird because like they bookend my summer. It's like San Diego Comic-Con, which is like 250,000 people,
Yeah,
and then it's like Granite State Comic-Con, which is like 2,500 people.
yeah.
So it's a little like, wait, what? And then now I have Nova like wedged in the middle of all that. So
Nice. Just going back to the chat, Jim Broadbent has joined us. He said, been a while, but hello again. Hello.
it has been a hot minute. What's up?
Richard pointed out that 599 subscribers. You could be number 600 tonight.
Dude, that's awesome. I didn't realize we gained 100 subscribers in like the 3 weeks we've been off. That's kind of insane.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe we should like not be on.
Yeah, we should do that more. Like,
You found the key to the algorithm is just not be there.
take 3 weeks off.
This regular content is
Yeah.
Yeah. Scott says, I've been waiting on my print copy of Death Wizards. Really looking forward to it.
Fun game. I got to play that at TMX. It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Excellent. He also said, let's turn Nova into the event of the year. Get it turned up. So it's been great to meet Scott in person there. It's awesome. Jim says some of his favorite metal albums are almost 20 years old now.
The best joke I heard was recently somebody said, I'm from the late 1900s, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, you're not wrong. Like, I can say that.
Yeah.
Technically correct.
Yeah.
Dave Hummel said, I got the speech from my nurse after my heart attack. You're too young to be having one. There you go. Absolutely true there, Dave. Cal is here saying, hey, everybody.
What's up, Cal?
And Dave's hoping that this year for his painting at MumCon to finally place and make the coveted display of past winners on the fridge. So far in a bizarre twist, it's all been Eric Swinson.
Nice.
She's got good taste. She knows good painting when she sees it. Excellent.
Oh, man.
Fantastic.
So I have a question I'll throw in now, and this isn't something that has to get answered now, but so I play hockey. I'm a goalie. I just ordered a bunch of new gear. As a birthday present, my wife was like, yeah, you should get whatever you need. So I was like, okay, cool. So I just ordered a bunch of stuff. I have a new mask coming.
Yep.
I am not an airbrush artist. It is not a skill that I have. If anybody knows anybody who's a good airbrush artist, and again, I'm not looking to spend like a gazillion dollars, but anybody, if you know an airbrush artist, PM me through Facebook or whatever, or send me an email. And like, I would love to figure that out. just because I was like, it's a brand new mask, and I have an awesome concept. I want to keep my mask white and do like almost like Blood Angel wings on the side, and then I want to have it like, you know, the mask of the gladiator in Gladiator, the guy he fights who has the tilt up mask and it has like the sanguineous death mask.
Right.
I want to have that here on my helmet, so it's like it's up. I was like, that'll look cool, but
yeah,
I just need somebody to do it. I can draw it, but I can't do that.
Okay.
So
yeah, I'm not your guy. Sorry.
but I was like, we're all artists. There's a lot of artists in the comments. I was like, maybe somebody knows somebody. Like, oh, my friend does airbrushing. Awesome. So,
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, fair.
We'll see. We might have to send it to like the guy from Counts Customs.
Okay.
Yeah. And Vegas. But yes. Anyway, should we jump into it?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yep. Okay. So it's gonna be more of the same, really, honestly, but it's just gonna be with pictures. So
Ooh, I like it.
So let me click the buttons. Everybody likes when I talk it through. So I'm gonna
the step-by-step walkthrough by Dave is a big crowd favorite.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've forgotten how to do the talking about the walkthrough, so I've just done the steps.
Fair.
We'll just have to go straight to this. I hope everybody's okay with that.
There we go.
So, of course, thank you very much to our season sponsor. They're actually our year-long sponsor. They'll be our season sponsor for season 5 as well, the Army Painter. And as we've been mentioning, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on the thearmypainter.com. There's a blog on there, and Tyler Mengel has been doing a lot of work, both painting stuff himself and gathering information from other folks.
We're excited. And the new Warpaints Fanatic Most Wanted set drops very soon.
Oh, okay. Radio. How many paints are in that? Is that 20 paints? 22?
Well, I think it's bigger. I think it's like 20 or 30.
Okay.
I can check.
It might be like 100. I think it's,
oh yeah,
it
might be one of the bigger ones. Hang on, I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. Crazy. I bought 2 new ones the other day. What did I get? I got Brigadine Brown.
Nice.
The most wanted is 22.
22. Oh, there we go. Brigadine Brown is the darkest in the browns. And then I got Baron Dune, which is the lightest in the...
I thought it was Baron Dune, like Baron Harkonnen.
A trick was missed.
Yeah, I was like, come on, that's a softball right there. You got to crush that.
Yeah, get in touch with them. But yeah, that's the lightest in the ochres and tans. But amusingly enough, it is darker than ice yellow. So it's going to be a good sort of base for it.
Nice.
I think.
Very cool.
The new one that I messed with that I really like is Phil, you'll get me if I mess up this name. Is it Cobalt Steel?
Yes, that's one of my favorite of the new ones.
That's dope. I like that.
Silver, yeah, it's incredible.
There was a chrome blue a chrome steel I used to use way back called Skunk Works that I think like Privateer or somebody made it. Like it was like the only paint I had from that line that I used all the time, and like nobody makes it anymore. And I was like, oh man. Yeah. So like that cobalt, I was like, this is awesome. That color is great.
It's so cool. I love that with the dark blue tone, like the dark blue tone that they have, the wash.
Okay. It
pops. It looks rad, especially for like swords and stuff like that. Really, really big fan.
For sure.
Yeah. Awesome. So thank you very much, Army Painter. Next up, this is me plugging some more of the art of. You've seen this before.
Heck yeah.
You'll see it again. So today, the pre-order store. Yesterday we did the smoke test, which is where you send out 5% of surveys to backers. You find out if you've done anything wrong with the backer kit pledge manager. Thankfully, no mistakes so far. But so this morning, sent off the emails to all more than 1,400 backers. So super cool. And we've got probably about 700 have responded so far today, which is awesome.
It's pretty good.
That's very cool.
The pre-order store is going live now. There is a link in the notes below, as per usual. So yeah, if you missed the Kickstarter, missed me talking about it for the last year, no, it's probably only month and a half. But
if you missed Dave talking about it, you were not watching our show. Like, so
it's possible. It's possible that people weren't. Some people weren't.
That's true. That's true.
So
you do have 100 new subscribers now. So remember,
that's true. That's true.
100 more folks. That'd be great. So definitely check that out. These are the wonderful books that we'll be putting together. And I've been working on the layout at the moment. I'm working on some parts from Joshua. Basically did an awesome diorama that he took to Contrast, which is the massive painting competition in Poland.
Yeah.
And beautiful piece. And he's got like a step-by-step of how he sort of put that together, both the assembly, the composition, and the painting.
I think one of the coolest things about those two guys, it was kind of crazy because we interviewed Sam first, like before, and then we interviewed Roman and Joshua kind of like right towards the tail end. I think they were the second to last episode. And when you look at their two styles, you're like, wow, these guys are both two phenomenally talented painters. And I think the thing that cracks me up the most is the fact that Roman has all these giant, crazy dioramas that are like a gazillion models and like tons of detail. And Jocelyn was like, I painted a tiny spaceman that fits on a penny. And you're like, wait, what? Like, so it's like completely opposite ends of the spectrum. And both of their stuff is absolutely gorgeous. But that even like looking at the pictures here, it just cracks me up seeing that. Like, it's so, it's so wild.
Yeah. Different interpretations of miniature painting.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. So that's super cool. Tomorrow, so June 26th, Wednesday, June 26th, 1 p.m. Central Time, the hotel block goes live for Adepticon. On their website, if you click on, so you can see along the, might be able to see along the top here, news, about, rules, location, info. Click on the info drop-down link. You'll get hotels. Click on hotels, and it'll show you this. When it goes live, I think these links or these boxes will become live on the page. So you can check it out.
The best thing about this, and I said it when we had Hank on, is the fact that now everybody will be close by. So there's no like, oh, I'm staying in the Schaumburg, Metroburg area, and it's like a 25-minute drive, and you're like, wait, what? It's like, why didn't you stay? And it's like, oh, because the Schaumburg Renaissance is full. And it's like, well, why didn't you stay at the DoubleTree that's across the parking lot? Oh, they were full too. And it's like, are you local? No, so I had to like fly in and rent a car. It's a mess. Whereas like Dave and Hank were talking about how like all this is walkable. The whole downtown area where it is really walkable. There's a ton of restaurants. Like, that's just awesome.
Yeah, I'm stoked for that because this year's Adepticon, poor Kat and Caleb had to like keep shuttling us with our we called it the drop pod, that they kept picking us up in this giant van and like shuttling all the army painter people back and forth whenever we needed to go places. So it'll be nice to not have to worry about that, which is good.
And you guys had to obviously hot deploy as soon as they stop. Like everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. The doors. We made sure that the doors blew off the side each time.
Nice.
So I don't know if they got their deposit back.
Nice.
But
Awesome. But again, there's link to the Adepticon website down below. Nice. Let's jump into hobby. Phil, first up. What's
yeah, looks familiar, doesn't he? So this is one of my probably my most recent Space Marine that I've painted. I did a video.
Is that Snow Job from G.I. Joe?
No, that's the Glacial Geek head that my friend found like a sprue of like a bunch of heads that look just like that, and it looks just like my logo. And he bought it for me, and he was like, "You need to use these," and I was like, "Heck yes, I do."
Those are amazing.
Yeah, it's so cool. My friend's son decided he wanted to get into Warhammer 40K because his dad plays it, and I play with his dad and stuff. And I thought the best way to like encourage him was like, why don't I paint him up a character that he can use in his army to start him off there. So I went through and painted probably one of the best looking Space Marines I've ever painted, and then gave it away. So I painted him up, and I painted up two heads. I painted the head that came with the model because this is the one from the Death Watch. That Cassius
awesome.
Kill Team. Yeah. So I had this guy sitting around, and I painted him up, and I had him with the regular head that he came with, which is like this cool mohawk head, and it looks rad. But then I also had this head, and I painted it up, and I asked my friend, I was like, which do you think he would like? He's like, oh, no. He would definitely prefer the Mr. Phil head on his model there. So I got it for him, and I was like, this. It felt really awesome being able to like, and apparently he like walked around with it, and like he loved it. He thought it was the best thing, and it was just cool to be able to like encourage like a newcomer to the wargaming scene to want to get into it and do more, and kind of encourage him to do the hobby that I really love. So it was cool to be able to do that.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
I think I'm in the same boat. I think one of the best squads I ever painted was, this is years ago, for Brand, when Brand, before he was in the White Dwarf and all that stuff. A bunch of my friends were doing stuff to send to him, so I painted up a squad of Primaris that I completely converted. I used the old Chaos Warrior fur cloaks, and I went nuts on them. They look absolutely phenomenal. And then I mailed them, and I was like, did I just mail away one of the nicest squads I've ever painted? Like, I 100% did. I don't feel bad about it, but I was like, man, I wish I took more photos of those because they look really cool.
Yeah. Oh, I made sure I took lots of photos, and I videoed the whole process. So I've at least got like, the memory of it going there. But I definitely, as I handed it off to my friend to give to his son, I was just like, oh yeah, wow, okay. I just I did this. I also had to paint up. I painted up like an old like 2nd edition orc that I found in like my collection, because he also has a daughter who has like claimed his orc army as like hers, like that's like her army. And I knew that if I was going to give a gift to one child, that I had to give a gift to both children. Otherwise I was going to cause strife in the household, and my gift was not going to be as generous as I had hoped it to be. So I painted up like one of the orc, and I so she also loved that too. And he was like, thank you. I really appreciate you not causing
solid move.
familial strife in my household.
That's cool. Next up, we've got this crazy Mandrake. It's from one of the Kill Team sets.
From the Determination Kill Team. It was such a fun model to paint up, and it was cool to be able to try like do that, like the blue green fire like transition there with the speed paints, which was super cool to be able to do. There's actually going to be a from the painting table from the army painter is going to put out from a painting table with this, so it'll have like the step-by-step kind of guide to what I did with it, which is awesome. I think it's coming out tomorrow, so a little bit of a heads up there. You guys can see it, and it also links to the video that I did showing it. And I've started to do more hobby videos as well. So I used to do exclusively battle reports, and then I did some also talking heads, and then now I'm doing more hobby stuff. And it's been honestly a big inspiration from being part of the factory team, like seeing like the awesome paint jobs and all the stuff that they're doing. I was like, I want to do this more, and I want to try more, and I want to become a tryhard and paint better and like push myself. So I've started to do more content like that, because it was like one of those realizations where it's like you got to. I keep talking about like finding the joy in the hobby and doing what you enjoy and doing what's fun. And I was like, it's about time I start taking my own advice and start finding the joy in like in my channel and what I want to do. And it's like I still love gaming, I still love doing battle reports, but I also realized that like my heart was being drawn to the painting more. And I'm like, okay, then that's what we have to do. You have to like lean into it so that you can keep the mojo going in the hobby. So it's been awesome to try to like do some more of that. And this guy was one of the ones in that process of me transitioning more into painting stuff, which is great.
This was the box that came with the Night Lords, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I have not yet done them yet, but I am really excited to, because that kit looks super rad. Like
they
super
are
rad.
Nasty. They are such a nice squad.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've read the books by Aaron Dempsey Bowden at all, Phil.
I have.
The Night Lords. Yeah. I just listened to them recently on Audible, and they are basically all through that I was thinking, oh man, I want to get that those Night Lords.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a huge like Black Library fan, and I've read a gajillion of them and listened to a gajillion of them on Audible and stuff like that. And it's like, it just, to me, it adds so much more to like to the hobby and to everything I'm doing. So like when I'm playing a game, it's not just like token 1 moves to location 32. It's like, like brother Captain Exquinius like decides that he's going to charge into battle with his battle brothers at his side. I'm that kind of nerd that I've got that going on in my head. So
I just got these.
Oh, I love love the Kaivis Kane series.
He's my favorite.
He is mine too. He is mine too. I absolutely love that series so much. It's so good.
Jake,
so good.
I had you small then when you showed them. You show them again.
So I have all the omnibuses. So I have what is it? Defender of the Imperium, Savior of the Imperium, Hero of the Imperium, and then the anthology came out, but I missed the other one. So there's a Know Your Enemy, I think. So Know Your Enemy and then Vainglorious and then this. So, but I don't have Know Your Enemy. So once that comes out, I'm good.
There we go. Nice. Yeah. That's man. I love that. It's just so cool to to hear the story that they keep building with him is just so fun. It's so different from the hero that that the Imperium has. It's the hero that the Imperium needed, but he's not necessarily he's a human, and it felt really human, and it was very humanizing. That was awesome to.
It's Kelly's heroes in the 40K universe. It's the only comedy that exists in the 40K universe. And I mean, other than the orc books, a lot of the orc books have a lot of wacky stuff in them. But, his stuff is just hilarious. And
it's legitimately funny.
Yeah, and they write him really well. I was trying to explain to somebody, there's a whole run of Deadpool where there was a specific writer, I forget who it was, and he was talking about, I was like, why do I like this so much? And in an interview, he talks about, well, most people, if you read Spider-Man is the hero. Or if you read Avengers, it's a team. And he was like, I wrote Deadpool as a team. And I was like, what? So there's Deadpool's voice, and then there's Wade Wilson's voice, and then there's crazy Deadpool's voice. So he has conversations with himself, and it's the three Deadpools are having a conversation, and it's awesome. It's the same thing with this. So you've got Caiaphas's professional voice where he's and then we invaded the sector, and you're okay, cool. And then there's Caiaphas being but I didn't want to be there, and it was a mistake, and I was terrified of the Necrons. We're lucky to get out of there alive. And then Amberly Vale, the Inquisitor, is her Cliff Notes where she's so this is what happened, and this is why they were there. You're it's just awesome. It's such a well-written book.
Nice.
So good.
Excellent. Cool. Next up on the list, we've got your Death Wizards. Or your Death Wizard. And these people.
They're not Space Marines, which was exciting to paint up. I painted this up for I did a video on Death Wizards when it went live. So Adam from Tabletop Minions and Vince Venturella, they have the Snarling Badger Studios, and they put out a new game called Death Wizards. And Adam was talking about it. I think he was talking about it back at LVO. He was talking about that they were working on something. And I was like, hey, once you guys have it kind of locked down, how do you make your starting force? Let me know. I'd love to do paint up a starting force and just have a video talking about it. And it was just so much fun to paint. I had all these models were models that I had on sprue, just around my, in my collection that I hadn't painted up. So the skeletons and the ghosts are Underworld's warbands.
Yeah, they're Underworld's warbands. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the zombies from Curse City. Yep. And then the wizard is actually from the Game Master paint set that the Army Painter had. Yeah. So they're actually I think they're going to be putting out a new one of those with Fnatic paints in it. So it's pretty cool if you're into D&D stuff. They have a whole sprue of a bunch of different characters. So I thought he'd be perfect for it, and it was just so much fun to paint up stuff that wasn't for an army. And it was just that's the starting art. That's my starting force, and that's what I can do. And I got to choose the models that I thought looked cool and just try different things. And I kind of talked in my video about exploring all of the world of various different indie war games and stuff like that, and all the different things, and realizing that the lion's share, probably 95% of my wargaming experience has been Warhammer 40K and Kill Team, with a handful of other games thrown in. And I was I feel I've just been boxing myself in. When I was painting this, I was this is so much fun. And it's made me look into Frostgrave and all these other things where it's it gives me an excuse to buy cool miniatures and paint them and just have them for that, whatever it is. And then it's they're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So And then I finally got to play the game at TMX, which was great, and it was a ton of fun. Vince like led through like a intro game, so it was cool to be able to do that.
One of these days, I should sit down and try to do like a pie chart of all of like what my gaming consists of. Like,
yeah.
Definitely. Just quickly looking at the chat, Sean Gleason has joined us. Hello, Sean. Josh Potter has made it as well. Looks like he had a long day as well, Jake.
Get it, Phil and I feel you, man. Like I get it.
Yeah. That's how it goes. Only Dave was privileged enough to have an easy June.
I'm gonna relax and go see my favorite band.
Yeah.
I didn't say favorite, but one of my favorite. Josh says, Phil, you should have heard what Caleb said about you at Origins. It was nice things, no scandalous stuff, so you need to work on that.
Yeah, so, don't believe a single thing he says.
We have a scandalous photo coming up. So we'll see. Excellent. Awesome. So next up, we've got this work in progress.
Yeah. So this is like the epitome of me like pushing myself to like the very limits of my hobby life here. When I was at Adepticon and all the other guys from the team, so you had Sam Lenz, you have the beautiful book with had some entries that he put into like the contest, and so did Adam, and it was just awesome to see all these guys like putting in these like beautifully painted models and stuff like that they were putting into this contest, and I was like, I want to try it. And they were like, do it. That sounds great. And, because they're super encouraging. But then I was like, all right, now I need to put my money where my mouth is and try something. So I was like, I'm just going to paint one model. And then all of a sudden I found myself like building like an entire diorama with like a trench work and this like cutting out the legs of the dreadnought so we can stand on this fallen thing. And then figuring out how to like sculpt flames from green stuff. So it's still very much like a work in progress, like right now, but it's like, it's progressing, which is incredible. But I really want to try to just like push myself to try and paint to like my top ability. Like this is my attempt to try like other techniques, like playing with green stuff that I've never done. I've used Milliput for the first time and made all those sandbags. And it's like, this is like me like trying to step like as far out of my hobby comfort zone as I possibly could.
It looks great. I mean, it's legit. It's super cool. Like in my brain, I'm already imagining what it's going to look like once you like finish the base and paint them up and like have the flames, and it'll be very much like a cutscene from battle, which is, I mean, that's the whole point of a diorama, right? Like, you're nailing it. Like that's what you want. It looks great.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. And I also like, you can see here, like I've now got the las cannon on there, and I've put these like these are going to be like actual late laser shots coming out of it. So
awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really pushing myself, and I'm very excited about it. And so far it's going well, and we're just gotta, we'll see what happens. So if you see me like, dying of a heart attack at Nova, you know what is going on, that I'm like sitting there like,
Awesome.
So that was my first competition that I've ever entered into with a painting competition. So I'm very excited to like just like go hard in the paint for my first one.
Nice.
That's great. We have I think so far for Capital Palette, sort of on an equivalent timeline from last year, we've got about 2.5 times as many entries coming in along that sort of timeline. So when I spoke to Mike Sibilia a couple of weeks ago, we were at 430 entries.
Oh, wow.
And at the same time frame previous year, it had been about 140 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
So, looking, it's almost 3 times as much. But looking good.
Excellent.
So,
yeah, that's exciting.
We've got a couple more judges that we'll be adding to the panel as well. So
very cool.
That'd be awesome. Maleva's joined us in the chat.
Hey,
great to see you. He says looks awesome, Phil. So
thank you very much. Appreciate that. That's coming from someone who knows their stuff. So I appreciate that.
Excellent. And this one. So this is the latest piece you've worked on.
Yeah, this is the last model that I've painted so far, and just I'll have I think a video coming out this Friday about me painting this guy up, and I got I was lucky enough to have GW send me over the Scaventide release box, which was awesome. And immediately I was drawn to this guy because I was like, that's just so cool. Like, he just looks so rad. And I was like, I really wanted to try painting up a Skaven. And like along the lines of what I was saying with wanting to try other games, like AOS, I've done like 3 games of like AOS, and this is like, I'm like, why not? Like, let's give this a shot. Let's try some fantasy stuff, because it's just fun to paint things that aren't necessary. Like I enjoy like the trope and the genre of like sci-fi futuristic stuff, and that's I always drawn to that kind of stuff. But it's also super fun to just like paint up and build and paint like some like, you know, fantasy level like models and stuff like that. So it's like enjoying it for like the hobby aspect is rad. So yeah, and this guy was a ton of fun to paint. The new models look so rad, and it's just like it's just a joy to paint, which is great. So
everybody must be super stoked for Saturday, because that's when the Scaventide box goes up for pre-orders. Like, we already have a ton at the shop. Like we haven't taken any pre-orders, but we kind of sent out an email blast. It was like, hey, if anybody's interested in this box, then give us a heads up. And it was like, I want one of those, or I want 2 of those, or me and my buddy are splitting a pair. And I was like, awesome. So
the definitely not pre-order post. Definitely gotta get those out.
gauging interest. Gauging interest,
exactly.
Excellent. That looks great. Really nice. Cool. So I think that was it for your recent hobby. We'll quickly run through my recent hobby.
Ooh, same.
What'd you paint? 7,000 points. Oh, here we go.
Ooh.
So I finally finished off my my first squad of Navy breaches.
Nice.
Which was a lot of fun to work on. A bunch of these I used, actually had it finished for Adepticon. So when I say a bunch, like 5 or 6 of them. Switched out some of the heads, got some of the enforcer heads on there.
Oh, very cool.
And I have another
the guy with the axe.
Yeah. That model from the kit is really sweet.
Yeah.
In my second squad, I've converted him. I shaved the right hand off and sort of spun the left hand around, so he has it sort of resting on his shoulder.
Oh, cool! That's awesome.
In the other squad, I've got a guy carrying the demolition charge that you can have in the squad. So for this one, instead, I put it on the little cat, the little remote control vehicle.
Love that.
And then just used a piece of decking to sort of extend it off the base. So cool. I sort of mess around with that. And yeah, enjoyed that. And then I've been working on a Inquisitorial Henchman warband.
Oh, so cool. Yeah.
So a while ago, I think I showed the conversions that I did for Hexbane's Hunters, which are one of the Underworld's warbands. And so in this group,
it's the crossbow guy,
the 2 dogs.
Yeah.
And then
I just pointed at my screen like you guys could see my finger.
I used to do that all the time, but now I have the. Can we see the mouse? Yes, we can see the.
Here we go. Yeah.
Okay. So and this lady here, she normally has an axe and like a pepper pot pistol. But I gave it.
That's so cool.
These pistols are Cal Jericho's pistols.
Yeah, I was gonna say
cool.
Like Cal's pistols, but
yeah,
nice. That's awesome.
And then this guy at the back here usually has a big 2-handed axe. Instead, he gave him the power sword and a grenade launcher.
That's super cool. That's super cool.
These 5 here are from the Inquisitorial Henchman
box
set, or the Imperial Agents, or whatever it's called.
Very, very cool.
So since then, I've actually finished off I did 2 Gun Servitors, 2 Mystics, a Jacaro, and the Inquisitor. I finished off Hexbane as the Inquisitor to lead.
He also did 4 other kill teams.
I did not.
Sorry, 3 other kill teams.
Anyway, what I also did was I painted up some trolls.
Oh, cool.
There's a commission for a friend of mine that I've been working on his destruction armies for a long time now.
Oh, that's so rad.
So it's
you
just
love
like
Throg. Throg is just awesome.
Yeah, on the right there, the
with his antlers.
Trogoth King. Yeah. The fun thing, I handed these off to my client on Saturday, and we had a good chuckle about the basing for the Troll King. My client assembles them all, for me and assembled all the basing as well.
Oh, cool.
Like there are probably like 40 mushrooms on that base. He said he admitted to me that when he handed it off to me, like afterwards, he was like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that to Dave. I probably shouldn't have put mushrooms on there." But it's part of the theme that we've got for the army. So
was Thrug glued down?
No, he wasn't. He was
okay. I was like, if you had to paint around those mushrooms, that would suck.
No, thankfully I didn't.
Okay,
they would paint them separately and then bring the two pieces together. But yeah, so they were a lot of fun to work on. And just recently, so on the weekend when I handed that off, I got the Kill Team Termination box. So I've assembled the wait, hold this up to the camera, even though it's small. The Leagues of Votann.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Oh yeah, that's something else I did in what do you call it? June. I went on.
You're on Independent Characters, right?
Yes. So it's on the Independent Characters Show of Force episode about the Leagues of Votann. So
oh, cool.
If you
Dave was on as their Votann expert.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, if you want to learn more about the Leagues of Votann, go and check that out.
Nice.
It went
very cool.
Went quite well, actually. It was good. Josh says our inquisitorial henchmen called henchmen because they're all henched over. Maybe they need to work on their posture. They do indeed.
They're burdened with the Emperor's duty, is what it is.
Yeah, burdened with glorious purpose.
Yeah.
Did you say the Emperor's duty? They're carrying the buckets of the duty?
No.
Duty. Oh, with a T. Right. Yeah, my bad.
That's why the big old guys are called custodians. It's another word for janitor.
Yeah, their job is to be burdened by the Emperor's duty.
Nice. And Dave says it was a fun listen. Thank you very much, Dave. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Cool. So that was me. Jake, you didn't send me any photos.
No, I didn't. I didn't work on anything. Did I work on anything? No, I don't think so.
You rearranged the store and you bought some books.
Oh yeah, I did a ton of work. I just didn't get any like personal hobbying done.
Okay. Hopefully you'll get to paint something when we're at San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, let's do that. Nice. Okay. So continuing the sort of the general feel of random discussion, let's jump in and talk about Phil.
Okay.
So Phil, this was the first photo that I grabbed out of the photos you sent me.
He's like, here's me lost in the woods.
Yep, exactly. So I think you can see where the inspiration for my logo came from. This is me and my wife up in Alaska, which is we lived there for 4 years, which was wonderful. It's beautiful up there, just like absolutely gorgeous. The winters are very cold, don't get me wrong, but it's just beautiful, and we had a ton of fun. And the gaming scene is actually like bumping up there. There's tons of people doing it because it's the perfect hobby for the long winters when it's like, you know, when you're stuck inside, you can build and paint the models, and then it gives you an excuse to just go to the game store to play some games, but still be inside where it's not, you know, negative 15 degrees outside. So it's
Alaska, were you?
What's up?
Whereabouts in Alaska were you?
Anchorage. So I was based in Anchorage, and I was the staff photographer at the University of Alaska Anchorage while I was up there. And I got to go all over the state, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, it was so much fun, and that's where the Glacial Geek started. It was funny. I did Warhammer a bit when I was like 11 or 12, so like 1,000 years ago, and I was painted up some models, and I was actually like busted out a couple of like some of my early ones here that I painted that my wife calls my melty cowmen, that are just like clogged with like dripping paint. And my friends didn't want to play. So when you're like 11 or 12 and your friends don't want to play the game, you usually don't play the game. So, so they ended up like in a box in my parents' basement. And then when I was up in Alaska, I had some Marvel bobbleheads in my cubicle. And one of my coworkers comes up to me and goes, "So I noticed you're a nerd. Have you ever heard of a game called Warhammer 40,000? I was like, "Oh, wow. Yeah. I used to play it back in the day. but I haven't done it in in a long time. And he goes, well, like, would you want to try playing it now? And I was like, well, I don't know. I know it's a lot of money and a lot of time, and I don't know if I've got that. And he's like, tell you what, come over to my house this weekend. We'll play a game, and you can see what happens from there. And I was like, sure, that sounds great. Went over, played the game, and like the very next day went out and bought the 6th edition starter set, and that was it. It was all downhill from there or uphill from there, depending upon how you want to look at it.
The first one's free. Come and take it.
Exactly. It was like the epitome of plastic crack. So
I still think 6th edition was the best edition they've done.
Oh man,
6th was my favorite.
Yeah, that was the one when I was first getting into it, and I was just like still in that like the honeymoon stage with it, and then 7th edition, towards the end of 7th edition, I was ready to pull my hair out. That edition like was not my favorite.
I agree.
But that's where I started started my channel, and I was a photographer and videographer, and that was like what 10 years ago. And I was watching like battle reports and things on online, and there was very few of those going on at the time. And I was like, I feel like I could do this. And, and then I had to put my money where my mouth was. And I just started doing them. And my friend like was encouraging me to do it. And we put together a couple battle reports, and then it just kind of built from there. And it became like it was fun because like at my local game store there, Tier 1 Cards and Games in Anchorage, Alaska. So if you're ever in Anchorage, Alaska, go to Tier 1 Cards and Games and tell Jean that I sent you. She was the best. And she kept letting me, play in the store and like record in the store and do all this different stuff, which is great. But it became like a reason that people got their armies painted was because they wanted to be on the Glacial Geek, which was super cool. So we had like this small local game store that had like a gajillion fully painted armies that people had because they all wanted to be in battle reports, which was awesome. So
that's awesome.
That is good.
Yeah. So that's I felt like this was a good picture to share because that was the beginnings of the Glacial Geek, when it made a lot more sense to be called the Glacial Geek than in the boiling underbelly of Savannah, Georgia down here, where it's like, melting flesh. Not much glacier down here at all.
Nice. Let me find now that I've got to move the cursor.
Now you'll have to be the Georgian geek.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the Southern Fried Geek, but I already had the branding, so I figured I wasn't going to change it.
Stick with it. Yeah. So I threw this one in because this is where I first first discovered your channel, was when you started going up to hang out with the mini wargaming guys.
Yeah, it first started because it was like way back in the day. I contacted Matthew, and I was like, because he had like a job opening that they had, and he was like, yeah, it would be great if you lived in Canada. And I was like, yeah, I would, wouldn't it? And that like didn't make it up, but he was like, why don't you come and just like visit for a while? So I went once and had a blast, and like absolutely all the guys there are just fantastic. Like the whole crew is just super fun. And then I just started going like more and more, and for a while there I was going like a whole lot, and I need to get back up there because it's just so fun, and just like they're just like they love what they do, you know what I mean? And it's awesome to be around that kind of energy, and it just is inspiring. And I've had so much fun up there. And this picture actually is because I went up over Thanksgiving when I went up there, and my wife like door dashed a whole bunch of Popeye's chicken to the place for us to have like a Thanksgiving feast on Thanksgiving, because they don't celebrate Thanksgiving up there because it's it's not a Canadian holiday, or they have their Thanksgiving, but it's like a different day. So she was like, you need to have like some kind of like Thanksgiving feast. So she like door dashed a whole bunch of food. So that's why they're super happy, is because they all got a bunch of free food. So
that's awesome.
Awesome.
By the way, that's a great selfie. Like that's a great job framing everything up. That's awesome.
Yep.
I've been working on my selfie game hard. You'll notice like a lot of my shots of these selfies, and I feel like I can soundly say that I've become like an expert on the selfie, because that's like one of my trademarks is the crazy selfie. So
absolutely. No, it's awesome. Next up.
As you can see here. Yeah, this was I think this was LVO 2021 when 2022. Yeah, 2022, like the first one that they had back there after after the period that shall not be named. And it was
after the LV Nope.
Yeah, after the LV Nope, exactly.
Yeah, I did all the shirts for them for that for the LVO that didn't happen. They
Oh,
still
really?
They still did merch in my company. We made them all.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it was it was so like, man, that period. I know that I got out of that, like, thankfully, like, without having any like major losses. And that was, not necessarily like the exact thing that, like that, the way it goes, but it's still like, it was just like a hard time to like be completely separated from, all the people and the things that you love to do. And it became hard to, do the hobby, and like being able to get back out there and go to these places and feel that energy of like, a gajillion nerds in the same place was I mean, it was just rejuvenating, really, like just charge the batteries again. And it was so nice to be back at that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was wonderful. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Sorry, just quickly, Scott said, son of a, Canada celebrates Thanksgiving. We do it right in October. You guys wrong. Get with the program, Yankees.
October's for Halloween. Get out of here.
Yeah. I know that they did it on a different day, because I remember saying, I'm like, yeah, it's Thanksgiving. And they're like, no, it's not. That was in October. And I was like, well, it is down south.
It's second Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, are you going to complain about the free chicken sandwiches? And they're like, no, it sounds good. Happy Thanksgiving.
Awesome. And Josh says, well, Scott Random, I celebrate Thanksgiving. So in my view, we're all wrong.
Yeah, there we go.
Excellent. So this was another fantastic shot.
Yep. This is me with the at the Rock when I landed there. When I I got invited to go to No Retreat Legends by the guys at SNM Battle Reports.
Nice.
And they are gems. They are amazing people, and they put on an amazing event. Just like such awesome stuff. Like we went on like a boat tour of like the harbor, and they took us to the top of the Rock on like a bus tour to see the monkeys. And they had it in this like cruise ship that's like permanently docked in Gibraltar. That's like a world class. Oh man, it was so much fun.
My business partner Ben was like raving about it this year, and he's like, man, I really want to go. And I was like, well, who knows? Maybe Dave and I'll get big enough that we'll get invited, and I'll bring you.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I mean, I had such a good time, and I got to meet like a ton of awesome like creators, and it felt like amazing just to be like, with a whole bunch of people, and we were working towards, raising money for like for charity. And like it was like both like the personal experience of getting to go to Gibraltar and see the lovely place that it was, getting to play with like a bunch of like amazing people, and also being able to raise money for like an excellent cause like mental health awareness. And it was so cool. It was such an awesome experience. It's like it's on my like in my top list of like things that I've done, and I've like made friends there that that I never would have seen otherwise. And I get to see them every once in a while, and we get to love on each other, which is great. So, and then I had sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, I think on the hobby side they do a really good job. I think on the personal side, I think that everything they do is awesome. Yeah. But I also think that on the hobby side they do a really good job. I like that they do the old school rubric where they figure out like your list, and you have to submit everything early, and they weigh like what it's worth. It's like that, like there's no meta lists. Like everybody's playing fun lists that are just like, oh, I made like I'm doing an all Ravenwing list because I thought it'd be great. And you're like, yeah, that's awesome. Like,
yeah,
I dig that.
Fun because we were at the like, it was funny because the guys from Tabletop Titans came, and Adrian and Bridger were coming, and Adrian and they got a text while we were like literally waiting in line at customs that said that that, oh my god, why can't I not remember the other guy? What's up?
You talking about the folks from SN or
no, from Tabletop Titans?
Oh, okay.
They got the guy who founded it. Oh my god, my brain just went completely blank. That's
anyway, founder of
anyway
Titans.
And I've met him since, and he's an incredible guy. But he got the text that he wasn't going to be able to make it, like right while we were at customs. And Adrian was like, damn it! Like he brought the orc hard nose like all buggy list that was like just like oppressive. because he brought it. And he was like, the only reason I brought it was because I knew he was going to bring his Adeptus Mechanicus list that was also really hard, and I was not going to lose to him in a tournament like of YouTubers, and I wasn't going to do it. But now all of a sudden, like, I'm the bad guy because I brought this like hard-nosed list with a bunch of YouTubers just like having fun to try to make a bunch of fun trying to make some money for charity over here, and I'm the bad guy. So it was funny. We made him wear like a fake mustache all weekend as like the villain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
You're like, wear this black hat. Wear this black hat and this domino mask.
Exactly. Yeah, like in the goatee. So he was like evil Adrian. Yeah, it was fun.
Yep.
But yeah, along the same lines, where it was just like a bunch of people like bringing fun lists and just having a good time and really enjoying it. And I think they do an excellent job of encouraging that, like the joy of the hobby, the joy of the fun, and the beautiful, like the emphasis on painting and all these different things, and beautiful tables and stuff like that. And it's awesome to see people that kind of like put in the extra effort to make it something that you would just absolutely love. So
yep. Awesome. Jake, I'm gonna recommend that you go and check out the Death Guard versus Alpha Legion battle report on the SN Studios YouTube channel.
Okay.
The recent one is a couple of days, well, maybe a week, somewhere in the last week. The Alpha Legion army, absolutely beautiful. It's Alpha Legion / Blood Angels.
Okay.
So he chose the Dawnbreaker. So it's for Horus Heresy.
Oh, so you can pick one unit. Yeah.
So you chose the I think the Dawnbreakers squad. But the way that he painted the entire army, beautiful. You definitely want to check that out. Anyway, next up.
Yeah, this is my team from the first ATC that I ever went to. This is
So ATC being the American Team Championships?
Yeah, American Team Championships. So that was the first time I'd ever done like a team tournament, and it was the first time I got there. That's Andrew Whitaker, who's from he was in oh man, I can't remember. He used to be on like the Best General a lot with Adam. But he was in a couple other podcasts and stuff like that. So that's Andrew Whitaker. There's Jeff, just Canadian Jeff. He's just an awesome guy from Canada. Then there's me, the goofy guy in the back there with the beard. My friend Marcus, who's from here in Savannah, who's an incredibly good 40K player, and he's also one of the nicest people you will ever meet. It's actually his son that I painted up the model for.
Oh, okay.
So,
nice.
Cool.
Yeah, super nice guy. And then that's Evan from Facing the Gray Tide, which was a podcast that he used to do. And we were I can't even remember the name, but it was like playing on all the different things, and it was funny. That was like one of the first like big tournaments that I ever went to, that ever really, because like for 4 years when I was up in Alaska. When it started up, like I just was doing things in Alaska, so it was like any of the tournaments I'd already known all the people, because it's a small scene, so we've all seen each other and we knew each other. So then when I finally moved down here to the lower 48, I got to go to like bigger tournaments and stuff like that, and I went to ATC and just like had a blast, and it was so fun to do a team tournament. Like I think that if you are into like enjoying the game, like team tournaments are just so cool, because you got this like inbuilt crew of people that you're just like all working together, and you're like winning and losing together, and it's just like fun to be able to just like talk about how things went with each other, and it's a really fun experience. It's very different than like even going to like a regular tournament with a bunch of friends, which I love to do myself anyway. But like the team tournament aspect of it is just like on that nether level of just like camaraderie that you get, and it's awesome. It's totally fun.
The team tournament at Adepticon is like super popular. It's like one of the it's one of the biggest draws.
Yeah, I love what they do with like all their theming and everything at Adepticon. It's a huge, awesome event. So, yeah, this was this last Adepticon was my first time at Adepticon, and I was just like blown away. It was so cool to see all that they got going on. So,
yeah, excellent. Just quickly looking at the chat, Grendel NZ, I think that's Alan Borthwick, says, Phil, come down to New Zealand. Dave's played a few grand tournaments here back in 3rd edition. I did. I ran a couple and I played a couple. But,
nice. I am New Zealand's on my list of places I want to go. It's like on my bucket list of
same
of places I want to travel to.
It's more do I want to travel through time though, because like traveling there we lose a day, and then traveling back you lose a day.
No, you gained a day.
Right, but you're traveling for a day, so you basically land on the same day.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow.
Yeah. I feel like I need to make it before I go.
When you can take off at 1 o'clock, like leave from New Zealand at 1 p.m. in the afternoon and land in LA at 6 in the morning of the same day.
Yeah. It's like a time machine.
Yeah, but then I have to get back on a plane and fly to Boston because I don't live in LA.
That's your fault, my friend.
You don't live in LA either.
I don't whine about it.
All three of us live on the East Coast.
I do it all the time. Not all the time, like once every 3 years, but I don't whine about it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. It looks so beautiful, and I've just seen it. Looks like an awesome place, and it's definitely one of the places I want to go, and it would be cool to play something down there. So
awesome. Jonathan Palomo says hello, gentlemen. Jonathan knows that long cross Pacific trip. He's an Australian living in Canada.
Oh, nice. Oh, cool.
But super cool. Next up. So speaking of events, this is you and I was going to say bathrobe, but it
is
a bathrobe. It is a bathrobe. This was my I did the grand narrative in at the GW Grand Narrative this last year in Atlanta, and I dressed up as like an acolyte, and I kept saying that I used to be a battle brother before I took a bolter to the knee.
There you go.
So I just had like this white bathrobe with like a green shirt underneath. Very low rent cosplay compared to a lot of the other things that people have, but it was fun to just like buy into it. And that was the first like narrative event that I'd ever gone to, and I absolutely loved it. It was so cool to just be like immersed in this with like the actors and like the stuff that they put on. They put on a really fun and awesome show. And it was it was just so cool to just be a part of it. And it was also very, very like laid back. Like the games were like long, and you just had like all the time in the world just to have fun against your opponent, and you were there with your team. So like you were working with each other and talking with each other and moving between the different like sectors with each other. And it was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it. I think GW puts on some incredible events. Like I've been to a bunch of their opens, and like they put on a good show. They put on a good time and very enjoyable time where you go and you have fun and you get to see a bunch of people doing awesome things. So yeah, I can't recommend it enough. It's so much fun.
Excellent. Scott is in the chat saying traveling to New Zealand because it's a long flight. Not traveling to New Zealand because it's a long flight is a stupid thing to say. Not traveling there because of the spiders. Sure. That's a much
isn't it?
He's thinking Australia.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there as many things in New Zealand that want to eat you as Australia, or did they not manage to swim across the water yet?
So New Zealand is like, the third world in the McCrag system. It's like a vacation world, and then like Australia is like the death world where like all of the prisoners are spent. Like it's full of like man-eating sharks and poisonous spiders.
Yeah,
he's not wrong, but anyway, fantastic. And then at the beginning of the show, we were talking about TMX, Tabletop Minions Expo. And this is a photo from that.
Yeah. So again, with the with my selfie game on point here, nice. This was like a bunch of us that were just like that were at TMX. This was like after we had some food, and it was awesome, like getting to hang out with like with Zambies and Witty and Sam and stuff, and it was just awesome. Also, like just being able to just like hang out there and be like around all these different people. Like people came up to me that said that they saw that I was going to be here, so they just like drove down from Madison because they were like, it was like only a couple hours to come down and see it. And I was like, that's awesome. And it was cool to just be there and like and just like everyone was there just having fun and just like enjoying each other's company. I got to do like a demo game of Death Wizards. Zambies actually taught me how to play Warcry because I decided that I signed up for it at Nova. So I felt I should probably learn before I go there.
Yep.
And I also took like a lesson from Sam on OSL to help me with my burning Sentinel over there. So it was awesome to just be a part of it. And it's just I love going to events just because of like the camaraderie of just getting to be around so many people that are just awesome, you know. And it's like our hobby can very often become isolating because it's like us in our painting dungeon, building and painting our models. Exactly. You know, I'm also in my painting dungeon up here where it's like you could be there by yourself like day after day, like doing this. And then you go to these events and you realize, oh, that's right. Like I'm part of this like bigger, beautiful hobby community of people that are painting and playing and just enjoying themselves. And it really just like fuels the energy, fuels the battery. And it's awesome. And it was, I left there feeling just excited about everything. So it was very, very cool. And I not just recommend going to TMX, but I do because Adam puts on like a great show, a great time. But also just go to any kind of like event, like even the smaller cons in your local area. So you don't have to like your first convention doesn't have to be like, thousands of dollars on airfare and hotels to go to Adepticon or something like that. Although again, I highly recommend that one too after going to my first one, but, but like you could just get like that same kind of like, just like fulfillment going to like a smaller local one and enjoying each other's company and having fun playing games and painting models. Like it's great. So yeah, that's kind of, I loved it. I left feeling like just jazzed.
Yeah. That's awesome. That is super cool. Yeah. I think, obviously I totally agree with you. Yeah. Jake does too. That, the community aspect, that's why we're doing what we're doing now. Right. Mm-hmm. Talk about toy soldiers with people who know what we're talking about. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a tough thing to start doing if you're just on the bus. But,
yeah, exactly.
But no, it's definitely cool, and I do love. I've been watching your channel probably 3 or 4 years now.
Nice.
And going through the so from your battle reports to your talking head stuff to your the hobby videos you've been doing more recently, all that sort of stuff. It's just so obvious that there's that wonderful passion that you've got for it all.
Thanks. Yeah.
So
like that's my main focus on all of it. Whether I'm, like I said, whether I'm playing like playing a battle report or painting a model or just like talking to the camera, the whole point is that this is a hobby and it's meant to be fun and it's supposed to be enjoyable. And if it's a drudgery, if it's something that just brings you like anger and just brings you like sadness, then it's like you're literally doing it wrong. But there's no, like, you have to find out what the right way to do it is. Maybe you get frustrated by the rules changes or armies that are imbalanced, and like then maybe like competitive gaming isn't for you. Maybe what you're looking for is something narratively driven that you and your friends can just tell a story by playing the game. Or maybe it's just building and painting the models to make cool collections that you can show off and do things like that. Or maybe it's a combination of them all. Or maybe you just like playing the game. Whatever it is, you need to find where you draw the joy and just follow that joy and find your way into the hobby and the parts of the hobby and the aspects of the hobby that just like fuel you, because that's exactly the way it's meant to be. That's what it's for. It's a hobby. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be enjoyable. And if you're not having fun, then you're doing it wrong. But whatever way you're doing it, it's wrong. And you need to do it the right way. That's going to bring you that joy again.
Yeah.
So
excellent. Just quickly, Brett Abbott has joined us and said, frothing with nerds who like what you do is what is really best in life.
What is best in life?
Absolutely.
Best in life. Hanging out with your friends talking about toy soldiers.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Okay. So speaking of one of the things that you enjoy frothing over is sorry. Yeah, this whole section here.
His cat from Mario Painter. Like,
no, I thought they were going to go into your Dark Angels here, but I forgot. Yes, Army Painter. Let's talk about the factory team. So yeah, we've got this is you with Kat at Adepticon.
Yeah, this is at the booth, and I was getting to paint models with like the new Fnatic paints because I was like one of the chances to get people the chance to like work with it hands on there. And Kat is an incredible person, like just like top notch person, and she runs an awesome ship, and she does incredible things. Like she is by far the top event person I think I have ever met. She's just so good at what she does, and she's such an incredible person, always looking out for everyone. Like there were times when I was like getting excited and I was just like in it and just like about it, and she came up to me and she was like, Phil, if you do not leave, I will get you kicked off the factory team. You need to go get lunch and you need to go like take care of yourself. And I was like, okay, yes, Kat. All right, sounds good. You know, but it's like that kind of mentality where she looks after her people, and she's just an incredible person. And I didn't have a picture with Caleb here, but the two of them just make like the best. They're just the best team. And if you ever see an Army Painter booth at an event, go and say hi to them. And they're just so nice, so good, and such good people doing awesome things. And they're also incredible hobbyists too, which is awesome, you know. And you know, oftentimes you wouldn't know because they just like they're not full of themselves. They're just like enjoying themselves and enjoying what's going on, and it's awesome. It's really awesome. So I wanted to throw her in there because she's been an awesome inspiration for being part of this factory team. One of the best things is like all the people that I've gotten to meet and be with, and just like be inspired by all of them, by the good people that they are and the good things that they're doing. So it's great.
The next one here is when I noticed that in this photo you are wearing your factory team T-shirt.
Yeah, I got that's my jersey. I got cool jerseys because I'm the token gamer. So on the factory team, you know, we've got Uncle Adam, who's like, you know, the sage mentor. We've got Sam, like the world-class painter. We've got Eric, who does like the incredible the terrain and scenery and stuff like that. And then I'm the gamer, which I think is hilarious because I'm at best an okay gamer, but I play a lot, which is I think the thing. But I approach it like just wanting to enjoy the game and enjoy what I'm doing. And this is my friend Matt, who again pointed at the screen like you knew what I was doing. But this is my friend Matt, and he was in my first two. He's been in a bunch of battle reports with me, but he was the most notable is he was my first two battle reports that were ever on my channel was me against him. And we decided we were going to do a narrative campaign, and it lasted 2 videos because he kept like spanking me, and I just like went downhill so fast. But my first 2 videos are him just like demolishing me on my channel there. And when I moved from Alaska, we decided that we were going to go to LVO, and we go to LVO every year because it's like a nice like middle ground between Alaska and the East Coast. And a big event. We always meet up and we always hang out, and we have like we you know stay together and stuff like that. And it's a chance for me to like reconnect with him every year at LVO. And every year we always get a large adult frozen beverage to knock glasses with and walk around and just be, you know, nerdy idiots walking around the strip and not looking like we belong in the slightest.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Scott says, I do love me the Vegas booze slurpee.
Yep, exactly. Me too. There's something about it. Like, you know, if I was just at home and like my wife was like, would you like an entire like yard of frozen margarita? I'd probably be like, I'm not so sure I'm ready for that. But you put me on the strip and it's like, let's do it.
Awesome.
A day like today, I feel like you could do it though.
Yeah, maybe. Exactly. Yeah. Maybe after the Junes that we've had, maybe. And also with like the 1,000 degrees that it is. Yeah. Give me anything frozen, I'll take it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then next up, it's since you guys in Denmark.
Yeah. They flew us out to Skanderborg to Denmark to go see the factory, and it was awesome. Like the entire team there, every single person, like down to the people that are like literally packing boxes, are happy there. Like they've created a company there where every single person feels valued, every single person feels happy, and they feel good doing what they're doing and like working as a team to build and keep doing the Army Painter. And you can tell that it's a company that values its people not just as a bottom line maker, but as actual human beings. and going on this trip like certified for me like how happy and privileged I am to be a part of this factory team, to be a part of the company like that, because they're just amazing people, every single person there. Like Stefan, who's there, who like right below Sam, he lives about an hour away from their headquarters, and every single day he was there to pick us up at the hotel and bring us to the place. He was also always there like at night, like he would drive us to like dinner and stuff like that. He put in like a lot of extra time that he was like an hour away that he didn't have to do, but he kept coming and doing it. Was just so happy to be, to see us and make sure that we were enjoying ourselves, that it was awesome. Like that kind of stuff. And like Thomas is like an incredible person. Like every single person there is just an incredible down there, incredible person at this company. And I loved talking to every single person, from like the, administrative assistants down like to the CEO. Like every single person was welcoming, like had a smile on their face, and were just like awesome people. And I was like, I love this company, and I wanted to be a part of it. And I keep wanting to do more and more with them because of the people that they are. I love their paints and I love what they're doing, and I love being part of the factory team. But like when it comes down to it, the thing I love most is the people that are there. So, and there's,
that makes all the difference. Like when you have a good team, and you have like a good group of people that all get along and they all want the same thing and they're all kind of cut from the same cloth, it just makes everything so much better.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And Adam Abron was there. He's like, I call him our wrangler. Like he's the one that wrangles the cats of the factory team.
Oh yeah.
And like, he's such an incredible person who's always got our best interest in mind, is always looking to help us out. And he's put together like an amazing team of this. And it feels like it's doing things that are just like incredible for just the hobby in general, just like the everything that it's doing and pushing forward, and like the mentality and just the mindset and everything about it just feels great, So yeah, they've done an incredible job with what they've done, and I'm super happy to be part of it. So yeah, can't lie.
Awesome. Hey, I just noticed the time. I'm going to jump onto the next bit. This is the bit that I thought was coming up when we had the cat photo. Oh no, I got it wrong.
There's a lot of me. I also talk a lot, so I like if you need to just be like, "Shut up, Phil." Like, trust me, you wouldn't be the first.
He's used to it. And last week, somebody was like, a buddy of mine, I think it was Adam. Adam and I were talking a couple of days ago, and he goes, I said, "We're gonna have Phil on." He goes, "Oh yeah, I saw that." He goes, "Oh, you guys are gonna have so much to talk about." Like Phil can talk about just about everything. And I was like, he'll be fine. We had Ash on last week, so I was like, Dave has had basically back-to-back guests where it's been like me and the guest just going off about whatever. And
the wrangling isn't always great, but anyway. So Nova, you're going to be at Nova. We heard that.
Yes.
So
yep.
Come and
I'll be there. I actually signed up for the Warcry tournament and a Bushido evening tournament. I've literally played one game of Warcry now against Zambies, and I've never played a game of Bushido, but I want to. And I felt like that was the only way that I was going to like boost myself into making sure that I made it happen. So I like bought in real hard at Adepticon into Bushido, and I was like, let's make this happen. Like, let's do this and let's have fun with this. So Nova's going to be a lot of fun, I think. So I'm very excited to do that. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Here we go. Finally, we made it into the Dark Angels.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah. So so when they came out with the new lore with the lion, before they came out with like the Inner Circle companions, they came out with the new lore that the lion was going around and like collecting the lost, like the fallen, and making them the risen and stuff like that. I was like, I need to have them in my army. So I like specifically painted up a bunch of Blade Guard veterans and a Deathwing Knight in the old colors, like the old like Legion colors, because I wanted to. I love having them like in my force, like next to the white of the Deathwing, and it just looks so cool. And I was like, I needed to do this, and I was like, let's give it a shot. Let's make it happen. So yeah,
dude, they look great. I love the old black Dark Angels paint scheme. I love it.
Yeah.
So
it looks rad, and it's so fun, and like the pop between the red and the black is just so cool. And I hand painted those checks. That was like the first time I did like hand painted checks, and I was like very happy with myself. I was like, those came out way better than I could have ever expected.
Did you do the grid?
No, I think so. I think I may have done like the grid and stuff like that and made it work.
Yeah, that's
yeah. But I was like, it was still a lot better than I ever expected it to. So
they look good.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah, the robe, the red robes is awesome. The pop of color from the towel is really cool.
Yeah. I thought that was fun too. It's like wiping off his blade, and I was like, yeah, just like I like when I paint my models. A lot of times when I'm doing them, especially for my armies, it's a lot of like I paint them for speed. So I want, like these are actually like the black armor is just the grim black speed paint on them, and I like to paint them fast because I like to get my models painted for the tabletop. But I find that the best way to make them look like you spent way longer than you actually did on them is to add in those kind of like pops of color that really throw that contrast and like draw the eye, and instantly it just elevates any paint job that you've done. And that to me,
Phil, this is why we're friends.
Yeah,
I paint the exact same way. I'm like, how can I maximize speed on all the stuff I don't want to paint so I can focus on details?
Exactly. And it's like if you throw in those pops of color, like it's the same thing with my Black Legion. They're all like the black paint there, like the speed paint for the black armor, which honestly is like the best black armor that I've had. I've gone through like 1,000 different ways of trying to paint black armor, and that is the way that seems to have come out with like the best looking black, like dimensional black armor that I've ever been able to do. But just like adding that pop of red with them, like instantly it's like, boom, they look finished. They look good. They look like you haven't just like, slapped them together. And it's like, that's how you make it, you don't have to spend 9 hours per model painting, as long as you like focus on those things where you just like give that pop, make it happen like that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. That looks awesome.
I like how this is that if you go back, that's your tester range, because like look at the labels.
Yes. Yeah, that's the old school ones. That's the ones I got early access to the Fanatic paints, which is great. Yeah.
I noticed you've got a deep ocean blue there.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, the first iteration of the deep ocean blue.
So
yeah, it was that was an exciting time to be able to work with those ones. And then they came out with the full line, and it was awesome. It was awesome. So nice. Yeah, an exciting time. Of course I had to paint the man himself, right? Of course I did. And this was like, I put in so much effort into this guy, and like almost like the complete opposite. Like before, when I was like, paint him fast to get him on the table and like make him look good. This one I was like, no, we're doing this right.
I'm surprised you didn't do him in the original Dark Angels colors.
Yeah, because first of all, I don't I am also, I don't hold myself like super strongly to like lore coloring. Like I do like my Deathwing being the white, but my Ravenwing are green, because I really like green, and that's what it comes down to. So I was like, I'm gonna paint him in the modern green and just make him look red. And I know like the official like art is more like a greeny black, to he's wearing his old armor and stuff like that. But I was like he could probably like pull aside like a one of the serfs and been like, repaint my armor so I can work with everyone here. Yeah, paint my army, and I don't think they're gonna say no to like. So yeah, I was super proud how this guy came out. It was awesome to paint, and so beautiful model to paint. The hardest part of painting this was choosing which head to go with. They have like 4 options, and every single one is awesome.
A buddy of ours couldn't decide. He just magnetized it. He did all 4 heads.
Yeah, I was very close to magnetizing it, but I ended up going with with the Tyrion Lannister hooded version. So
awesome,
so good.
We've got Azrael here, but looking at the time, I'm just going to skip on from him to this guy.
Yes, that's Jenkins. That's Jenkins. I painted him like way back in the day, like very early on, and the way I painted the face, I had gotten like the perfect eyes where the pupils were like had a visible line of white around it, and his head, like where I glued it, was like slightly cocked with his like open mouth there, and it just looked like he had like seen some shit. So that became the story that it was like Jenkins like was this long running scout that just like always ended up like in the worst places for the Dark Angels and had seen it all and had like been through it all, and it was like Jenkins, no, like every time like he would die in a battle report and stuff like that. So when they came out with the new scouts, I was like, well, obviously I have to try to like paint up a Primaris sized like Jenkins, right? So
in this episode, Jenkins gets an upgrade.
Yeah, Jenkins crossed the rubric, the Rubicon Primaris, and ended up getting a boost up. And also at the end of this, I like because he was always just like a regular scout. Like he was never the sergeant, because it was always Sergeant Ablative Wounds that would go with it, and he would be the last guy in my squad that would die. But at the end of me painting like this guy, I painted on like I have like a thing where like the circle on the back of the Primaris backpacks, I paint that gold for my sergeants. So at the end of this whole paint job, I painted the back gold, and it felt like I was like, he finally got the promotion he deserved.
Jenkins gets a promotion.
Exactly. Exactly. He's coming up in the world. But yeah, it was fun to be able to try to like recreate like the same kind of paint job that you did with like many years of paint experience between you and then, and like making it, but still making it like recognizably Jenkins was a lot of fun. So
nice.
T
awesome.
Bishop in the chat has said, "Woo crew, how's it going? All long
heck
live."
Yeah, woo!
Awesome. So yeah, that's definitely cool. You've done a video on this, so everybody can go and check out how you try to recreate those eyes.
Oh man, yeah. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, let's do this. We can do this. And then it's like, oh crap! Get it out of there. Get it out of there. Let's try it again.
Dude, my trick for eyes, if I'm going to do that, is I tell everybody all the time, micron pens, 0.005 micron pens. It's like an eyelash. You're like,
yeah, I need to do that. I need to figure out something, because I like these. It's funny because I know I've always had trouble with eyes, because remember the guys that I was showing here, like these old melty cowmen. There's a handful of them where obviously I was putting in the eye and I made it too big. And back when I was like 11 or 12 years old, instead of being like, oh, let's like retry, what I did was, you can see it here. I just painted on sunglasses.
nice.
as if that was the answer for bad eyes, was just painting on sunglasses.
Nailed it.
So,
Nice.
yeah. So I've upgraded a bit from that to being able to recreate Jenkins' eyes. I feel like my painting skills have improved in the last 30 years.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing those with us. Particularly.
Oh, absolutely.
It's awesome. I love that episode. I love that video when you did it. It was
it was fun. It was fun.
Fantastic. So, Phil, the last part of the show that we do is we show off a bunch of photos that folks have submitted for our Build Paint Play community Facebook group.
Cool.
I have those for us. Obviously, with us being not having a show in the last sort of 3-4 weeks, we've
Sure,
got
there's a bunch.
There are quite a few, yeah.
Let's get into it. Let's
I'm going to slam into it, and I will, of course, do the click that, and then click this. Now I'm doing the talking it all the way through, and then click that. Are we ready? Okay, so first up, we've got Adam Weller.
This is awesome.
This,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, just awesome tiger stripe monk.
That's so cool.
The tones on the headpiece on the staff, like the way he did like the black on the shadowed edges, and like it that's awesome. And the tiger stripes on him are great. Like the tonality on the stripes themselves is great.
Yeah.
So good. That looks so good. Yeah, that's amazing. What model is this?
I do not remember where he said it was.
I think he said he printed it from somewhere. I forget where.
Cool.
You're probably
That's
right.
very cool. That's super cool. That looks amazing. That paint job is amazing. Yeah, just like all that he's got going on there, the tones. Oh man, wonderful.
Great color choices as well. Yeah.
Good job, Adam. That's awesome.
Adam also has painted this awesome barbarian.
All right, now he's just showing off.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so cool.
That axe is serious.
That is serious axe. He's either got a lot of firewood to chop, or he wants you off his property.
Get off my damn lawn.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he looks fantastic as well. And yeah, Adam's obviously having a lot of fun with those muscle tones there.
Yeah, skin tone is awesome on that. Looks fantastic.
Yeah,
That's great.
But yeah, great work
It's
there.
hard with like muscles like that to to keep you from getting just like muscle islands, and he's done like a great job of making it look like defined without it just becoming just like, you know, like chonky muscles, which I mean I can't do. So so kudos to Adam for being able to do that. That looks great.
Yep, awesome work there. And I think we've got one more from him. Yep.
Yeah, awesome.
She does not skip leg day.
No, she does not.
No.
No, she does not. Wow.
I like her headpiece. Her headpiece is pretty rad.
Yep.
Yeah, those antlers look like real, like actually like how antlers look. That's so cool. That looks rad.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I love the sort of the red hair with the blue.
Yeah.
And that,
finding those contrasts again, like we talked about, like that's awesome. Yeah, it looks really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, beautiful work, Adam.
Transitions are super cool.
Yeah, great job, Adam. Those are all fantastic.
I think there are a couple more, and each of these has got different angles, so you can check those out on the Facebook group.
Nice.
Build Paint Play community. Awesome. Okay.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, Carl and his wife Shell have been working on his Black Legion army, her Night Lord's army, and I think I just saw a picture today where Carl started work on his Sisters of Battle army.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, Shell wanted to go with purple rather than the blue for the Night Lords, and
those lightning bolts. The lightning bolts are so good.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Oh man, that looks so rad.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Beautiful work there.
Yeah.
I know that Carl was having a lot of was grimacing quite a bit with the painting all of the trim on his the gold trim on his Black Legion.
Yeah, been there.
It was like it was helping Shell with her army, which also happens to be a Chaos Space Marine army.
Yeah.
And then choosing to do the Sisters of Battle, which is like, yeah, there's a lot of trim on them too. Not quite as much as Chaos Space Marines, but
yeah, they got a lot going on them too. Yeah.
Oh, Brett says that lightning would look great on a hockey mask.
That would look pretty rad on a hockey mask.
So you know where you could go for that. But yeah, beautiful work there, Carl and Shell. Looking awesome. Josh says late 70s conversion van. They just need a unicorn and a wizard.
Nice.
Yep.
And the little teardrop window in the back of the Land Raider.
Yeah.
If awesome. The Land Raiders are rocking, don't come a knocking.
Right.
Sweet lightning bolts are awesome. So, super cool. Chris Gorka. Chris has painted up some lovely Sanguinary
Guard.
Yeah, beautiful. Those are awesome.
That kit is great. There's so much good stuff in that kit. Again, I can't run them anymore because like they look like they're a bunch of kids dressed up for Halloween with the rest of the Primaris army.
Yeah.
But
the
sheer amount of cool bits in this box, like their jump packs are awesome with the wings, like all of their weapons, the wrist mounted bolters and stuff, like they're just sick. The chest plates, the death masks, like that kit's awesome.
The only thing that is the scale is really everything else works great.
Yeah.
But Chris did an awesome job here, and I love the teal on those power swords.
Yeah, super rad. And it's awesome, like the contrast that it gives, it really pops. That's so cool.
Yeah. There's one of them a little bit close up. And you see that work on the axe as well.
And he drilled out his barrels.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a barrel driller on my gaming pieces because I tried for a while and I had way too many that I drilled through the side of the barrel or that they were like cattywampus, and I was like, I finally realized I was like, I'm much happier with an undrilled barrel than like a crooked, like destroyed barrel. And I was just like, that's it. That's what I'm gonna have to deal with. So that's my one hobby faux pas that I'm just like, you know what? I'm unapologetic for it. I'm gonna do it. I'm not having barrels drilled.
Awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
Chris is also picking up these clone troopers.
Yeah, so clean
those
and
are
like the
awesome.
color pops. That's so great.
Yeah.
They're super cool.
But yeah, those
It's like Power Rangers, the Clone Wars version.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
That's
he said,
awesome.
is this Delta Squad? Something
Yep.
like
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Delta
nice.
Squad.
that.
I love it.
Awesome. Jim said, never drilled a barrel, most likely never will.
Yeah,
The
there you
problem
go.
is the problem is that I started doing it, and like now I can't stop. So every single model I have, if it has a bolter, it gets drilled.
Yeah, see, my barrel drilled era of models have since gotten scaled out, so I'm okay now. I've I've outscaled my barrel drilled era, so now my models can work together and they're bigger
Oh,
size.
nice. Scott said you could just put sunglasses on your bolter barrels.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Dave Hummel's going to probably not be drilling out his barrels. He only has about 1,200 barrels to drill.
Yeah.
So,
No. Yeah.
Pretty good idea.
There we
there.
go.
I'd go for the dot of black on the end of them. But
I just do them. I do them as I'm doing each squad. I do the barrels. So I'm never doing like a zillion. I'm doing like 10.
There.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Cliff Edders has been working on his orcs for a little while now.
Yeah.
Looking cool. He's got the Goth Rocker up the front there.
Yep. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that looks rad.
Duke Warrior style from Mad Max.
Yeah. I
He
love
did
that.
he did the salt trick on this too.
Right. The salt weathering.
The salt
Yeah,
weathering
nice.
is such a cool trick.
That is so cool. That the rust effect looks awesome. That's what I'm going to try to do with that Sentinel, because it's like I figured that the it's like a chaosified like PDF that's like fall into chaos. So I figure I will. They don't take care of their stuff as well as the Adeptus Mechanicus requires the regular guard to do. So I wanted to do that same thing for the first time. Try that with like the hairspray or the salt trick and give that a shot and see how it works. So.
Yeah,
We'll see. We'll see if I can pull it off as well as he did. He did a great job.
You'll be able to. It's a super easy trick. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
But yeah, beautiful work here, Cliff.
Yeah,
great, nice one.
And those checks are really cool too.
Oh.
I'm sorry, on the arm of his thing there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Cool.
You got old school dungeon master and Ranger from.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So
Greetings, adventurers.
Clive's from the UK. He's been painting these up over the last couple of weeks.
Very nice. Yeah, whenever Dungeon Master shows up, you knew some shit was about to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, those are so cool.
He did a really cool job with the glow effect on Ranger's bow too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
I like the basing that he's got on these. Looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice work there, Clive. Well done. Excellent. He's been working on this. These are sort of bits and pieces from I think a diorama, a little vignette that he's putting together.
That's so cool. That freehand is just incredible. Wow.
Dave loves some Empire, so
I do, and I do love me some scroll work and some lovely lettering on tiny shields.
Yeah. Wow. That is very impressive.
Yeah, that Avalon Sun is super grumpy.
Yeah.
He's having a shitty day.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me on my halberdiers ever again.
Yeah. He's had a similar June to Jake.
Yeah. He's not happy.
Yeah.
That's why it's been sunny.
He's like that. You know what? That's it. Another 96-degree day.
Yeah. But yeah, beautiful work there. Those the scrolls are great. The all the work on there is lovely.
Yeah, wonderful.
Beautiful stuff. And the non-metallic metal on that armor.
Oh yeah, super cool.
Yep.
Excellent. Jeff Smith. Jeff has been working on commission here for these Sisters of Silence.
Yeah, those look rad.
I think he said these are the first 5 of 30 that he's working on.
Oof. Yeah, I just painted up like 10 of them, and they're hard. Not gonna lie.
Detail, isn't there? It's so much detail.
Yeah, they're like they have like the same amount of detail as like a Space Marine veteran squad, but they're like 30% smaller. So you're like, how do I get to that?
Yeah.
Washes and dry brushing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Those look great. Those look
Yeah,
fantastic.
looking beautiful there, Jeff. Nice one. And Jeff has also, he sent me this last night.
Ooh.
His next dreadnought for his Wolfspear army.
Yeah, this will be not Bjorn.
Yeah,
Yeah. Love that.
not beyond the fell-handed.
Yeah.
Looking beautiful. I can't remember where all of the 3D printed pieces came from.
Yeah, I forget. I know the model on the bottom. That's from the Black Templar duel.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's getting stepped on.
they
And
are.
then
Yeah,
the shield, the horns, the groin plate, and the centerpiece. That's all from that. I forget the name of the 3D printer that he uses it from, but it's they're super cool.
Yeah, those look super rad. And also like a beautiful paint job there too. Like
I love the weathering that he's done on the basically the feet and the sort of the lower legs and
on the bottom of the banner there, it looks rad. Yeah.
It must feel weird for Jeff to have a nice big tactical rock like that in the front that isn't being used.
Yeah.
I'll step on this orc instead of the tactical rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there'll still
Yeah,
be a
step on
tactical rock
something.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to step on something, whether it's the rock or the orc. You get to choose.
But no, looking awesome there, Jeff. Nice one.
That's really cool.
Jez Hunt.
Oh, these are great. This is from
I love
oh
that.
god, what is this?
Moonstone.
Yeah, Moonstone.
Oh,
I
that's so
painted
cool.
I painted the little goblin on the pug for my wife.
Right.
He's the
That's
best.
so cool. That
Yeah.
looks so rad.
Yeah, they're
There's
super cool.
Archie's Forge, says Jeff. That's
Okay.
where those pieces are from. But yeah, Jez usually joins us from the UK, but probably for the last 2 months he's been working on a TV show or movie. He's not allowed to tell us which, but he works in the film industry. So he hasn't had a chance to catch the show live, but he sent me these photos through. Which looks super cool.
It looks super rad. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's so
And
cool.
I did single out
yeah.
It's the best one. It's
That's
like,
the best. It is. That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah. He's got Jenkins eyes.
He does. Exactly. Yeah.
Pugs always look worried or concerned.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
But no, awesome. Thanks very much, Jez, for sharing those with me. Jez
I backed that Kickstarter just so I could get this model.
Yeah.
nice. But yeah, Jez isn't on Facebook, but also he sent these through to me via Instagram.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
But yeah, definitely cool. Next up, Kelly Rowe. Kelly has been painting some awesome D&D minis.
Oh yeah, those are super rad.
That is very Thorn Oakenshield on the left, and then the
Yeah.
tiefling sorcerer is awesome.
So
Yeah.
cool. I love the fire effect. The fire that they painted there. That looks so cool.
And she's got the little fairy dragon on her shoulder.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
pseudo dragon. It's probably a pseudo dragon, but
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, beautiful work there, Kelly.
Yeah.
I love that the guy on the left there with the sort of the detailing around the sort of the edge of the armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just looks awesome.
Yeah. Super rad.
And he also painted this Dragonborn.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool too.
I love it. Yeah.
He
That's so cool.
painted it, posted it up, and then he noticed a few things he didn't really like about it, and went back and repainted those areas. So this was the sort of the final repaint.
Nice. It looks rad.
Yeah, beautiful work there.
Yeah. Like I love the whole model, but also that the way they've done the stone on the bottom there, that looks so cool. Like looks so real. That's awesome.
I think this is one of my favorite Dragonborn models that I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dragonborn are weird. They're one of those models that it's a really fine tightrope to kind of walk. If you make them too dragony, they look like draconians. They look like big bad monsters. And if you make them too like human looking, you're like, oh, it's a guy wearing dragon armor. So like it's tough. There's only a couple that I've seen that I'm like, oh, I really like that one. This one's cool.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Kelly's in the chat. Hi, Kelly. Kelly says it's an imp, but yeah,
Nice.
not a pseudo dragon, an imp.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it looks rad. Awesome job. Awesome job.
Excellent work there, Kelly. Looking great. Ken Hartnett.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Kroot.
Heck
Dude,
yeah.
man, this army is so good.
Yep. And I'm I'm just loving the way that I'm guessing that it's like a speed paint of the brown.
Yeah,
Over
it
there.
looks like warm leather. That's so
the
cool.
speed paint did such a cool job because like looking at like his Vambrance,
Yep.
leather's great because it has all irregularities and it immediately makes it look like it's leather. Like it's just awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like worn leather. All of that looks like worn leather. It's like on the face mask there too, the way they got it, like on the forehead there, that looks like worn leather. That's awesome. It looks rad.
I love that. I love the idea of the Kroot rider, like when he's off duty, he's a welder. He's got his welder gloves on and his welder goggles, and he's like, well,
Right.
I gotta go shoot some stuff, so
Yeah.
don't have time to change.
Yep.
Yeah. When you've got to kill some Imperials in the morning, but you also have to get to your welding job in the afternoon.
he like jumps on this thing's back and he's like, all right, let's go, Roscoe. And like they go murder some stuff. They're so great. I love the whole aesthetic of the Kroot army. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Very, very cool.
Those look awesome. Beautiful work there, Ken. Christian.
Ooh.
Nice.
The last month or so, but it's awesome. Awesome demon.
Possessed Chaos
Yeah.
Space Marine.
Oh, yeah, the shoulder pads. Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, he's got a backpack and like the Space Marine greaves and the shoulder pad.
Yep.
Yeah, that's rad. I love that look. That's super cool.
That's so cool. Dave, that's one of your word bearers right there.
That's yeah. I don't know that any of my word bearers could step to that. I was just like way meaner than any of them.
Oh man, that's rad. That's super cool looking.
Looks awesome, and I love that that he's gone with that. Obviously, the contrasting green there for the skull on the base.
Yeah.
Just
I like the cool drips too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Like he did such a good job with the transition that like or the contrast that like the drips look hot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Very, very cool.
Awesome work, Christian. Very cool. Luis has been working on quite a few projects over the last month or so. So I grabbed this one for us to look at. So he's planned these 5 infiltrators.
I think those are incursors. Yeah,
Incursors,
they look like they got like the little weird like little closed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the little parrot beak.
Yeah.
Like,
right. But
Yeah.
this is the way that so Luis, Phil, Luis used to do still does Gundam kits.
Oh, cool.
yeah, he came over from like Gundam and scale modeling.
Oh, nice.
So works on a lot of his pieces in parts. So a lot of sub assemblies, which is why you'll see. So the one on the right is okay. This is how they should all look when they're assembled. They're kind of all tacked together. Then he'll break them all down, put them into their separate bags.
Oh, wow.
Working on them.
Yeah, it's a whole process. Like we were talking about it because he goes into my stories a regular all the time. He's actually in the chat, I think. But like,
Oh, nice.
Like I almost never do sub assemblies unless I'm like I won't be able to get to that if I build it. But otherwise, I build everything and then I do it. And Luis is again coming over from Gundam. He does everything in sub assemblies, and I was like, oh my god, like it's just cool. Like we were talking about, there's so many different ways to do stuff. So it's always fun to see how somebody else's brain works, and you're like, oh, I never thought about doing it like that. Yeah, see, like he's doing what are they, Raptors?
Raptors, yeah.
Oh, cool. That looks so good.
Yeah, they're dope.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful work going on there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to see this this part of the process.
Yeah, the process. That's so cool.
Yeah, Luis, I like to torture myself.
Yeah. Hey, you got to find the way you enjoy the hobby is if you're enjoying it, then you're doing it right. There's no wrong way to do it except for the way that makes you sad or upset. Yeah. That's the wrong way.
I think the coolest thing about the Raptors is out of all the Space Marines, they're like the most like tactical. So all their stuff is like OD green, and they use camo, and they have like everything's like leather and tied down. Like it's awesome.
Yep.
That looks super cool. That looks super rad. Really good job.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited
Beautiful
to see it.
Awesome work.
Oh, cool.
This is great.
Yep, Mike Hughes.
Pretty sure he's a chaos guy.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. I don't want to say he is, but like I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You got to count the spikes. If it hits a certain quota of spikes, then he has to be chaos.
Okay.
So
A certain fold path.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, all of that sort of copper is all non-metallic metal.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So-
that's Mike. Mike never does metallic. He does. It's all non-metallic.
Yeah.
Wow. It looks real. Like it. Looks real.
This
really
guy's
good.
like
That's
wandering up and down the shores of like the lava lake, being like, "Do you have a moment to talk about the 4 powers?" And it's like, I don't.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna. I gotta go. Bye.
awesome.
But it looks awesome, Mike.
Yeah.
Cool there.
Very very cool.
Those are great.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Michael painted up more
his
time.
wings, his iridescent wings are so good.
So good. That looks so rad. Oh,
Yeah.
so rad.
This whole model, this is one of those models that, like, if I were to build it, I would build it, and then it would get put into a case, and I would never move it. He has so many little, like, all the little nurglings, like, holding the chains, like, they're fantastic, but like, they're just begging to snap off. Like,
Yeah. I would snap him off while I'm painted, I'm sure, let alone move it to my first game with it. So I love how he's like contrasted with that bright pink on the base to the green armor. Like that looks so cool.
His
rad.
robes look really cool. Like his robes that are holding him up, like those are awesome. And he has like the different colors on the inside of them.
Yeah. Super rad.
Yeah, this model
Really
is
well
good.
done. Yeah,
Beautiful
really,
work,
really well
Mike.
done.
Looks great.
Well done, Mike.
Oh,
Old school.
Yeah.
is doing up a Chaos Dwarf army for Warhammer: The Old World.
He even did like old world bases.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
the old
Goblin
Goblin
Green,
with the
for
flocking.
flock.
Yeah. I love that.
I think the Lamasu there, or is it a Taurus? Greater Taurus.
Dude, I didn't play this army, but
Yeah, I think Great Taurus is what it's called. Is a 3D print.
okay.
But I think the guy on the back is
Yeah, that looks like a legit hat.
yeah. And that pose and the shape of the face.
Yeah.
Here's some more. I think these
Cool.
plastics.
Good God.
Could be
Those
wrong.
look cool.
The mix, but yeah, looking good there, Pete.
Those are
Love the
Very,
shit
very cool.
as well. Yeah, awesome. And this one here, I think, was also a 3D print.
Damn.
That's so fun. That's awesome.
But yeah, he said this is the centerpiece of his army.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
that is definitely not a GW model.
No.
That
It's
looks
good.
rad. That's gonna be so
Hasn't-
cool to put on the table there as a
Has a
centerpiece.
little bit
Yeah,
of a,
that's awesome.
like armor cast kind of feel.
Yeah, it does kind of look like armor cast.
Really, that like the spikes at the front and the skull.
Yeah.
And the smokestack. The only thing that makes me think it's not armor cast is like the windows, the tilt windows, because that's a
Right,
little fiddly for armor cast. They didn't really do a lot of that,
Yeah. So I think it probably is a 3D print, but
but it's cool.
Dave Hummel
Yeah,
says
very
it's
cool.
the original heresy train.
Yeah. All aboard the heresy train. Woo-woo.
Yeah.
I think it's
Beautiful
cool.
like that, Pete. Looking great.
I'd probably get some pulled cotton and have it coming out of the smokestack.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
Uh,
Oh wow.
oh, I went and cut off Scott's name there. I didn't.
That's Scott Radum, so that's his.
Scott Radum. Yep.
Is it just like a mutant?
I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah, but an awesome bust here. I think my favorite thing. I know Scott's been sort of messing around with a lot of different things. He's been working with a few different folks like Sam, sort of as mentors, and Matt DiPietro as well, I think. But they've been pushing him to try some different things. So texturally, this is a bit different for him.
Yeah, that looks rad.
Oh, Dave Hummel suggesting maybe it's a super mutant from Fallout.
Oh, maybe. Yeah,
Oh,
this
cool.
like I can't say what he's armed with, so I'm not sure.
Oh, it's a bust.
Okay.
That's because he's been disarmed.
I see what you did there.
Nice down the middle there. There we go. Yeah, that it was a super mutant by Raphael Pica.
The chrome, Scott, the chrome lenses are awesome.
Super rad. And I
That's-
love the rust effect you've got on the armor chest piece there. That's super cool too. Like looks legitimately like rusted armor, like rusted metal there. That's super cool. Like that.
That is great.
And he said that since he posted this, he's revised that bust.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it looks great.
But yeah, looking awesome there, Scott. Hopefully we'll see that at Nova. Fingers crossed. Sean Gleason.
That's awesome.
Like Zoink Scoob.
Yeah. I love it.
This post-apocalyptic mystery gang.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, they look fantastic, don't they?
They do. That's super rad. He looks like Ash from Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Who, Fred? Yeah, Fred has a very Ash vibe.
Fred looks like very Ash there.
I was gonna say it was a little bit. Well, it was quite Negan as well.
Yeah.
That
Okay. Yeah.
a Negan Ash crossover. But yeah, very nice.
What's the thing? What's the thing in the middle in the front? Is it like a robot?
I think it might be, but I'm wondering if it's like a robot version of Scrappy.
Oh, Scrappy
Okay,
Doo.
That could be. But Scott's still. No, sorry, Sean is still in the chat. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it looks wonderful. Those
Listen.
are great.
I like it.
But yeah, beautiful work there, Sean. A lot of fun. Sorry, I will just go back and say, so these would be great to be used in, this is not a test. So I think Blacksite Studios has been working with Joey Maguire, and I think they're releasing the second edition in July. So in a couple of weeks' time.
Nice.
Definitely cool. Stephen Ryder.
Look at the jawline on this guy.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I think it's this is one of the old sort of space adventurers.
Yeah.
From,
Yeah, this is like the Grenadier Space Adventurers or whatever, or the Citadel Space Adventurers.
Yep. There we go. Sean says it's a drone Scrappy.
Nice.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
But yeah, so Stephen has been painting this up. He's also been working on these
Dave's favorite, a bunch of squats up there.
the squats. Yep, and the orcs look great too.
Yeah.
And
oh man,
Dude, that takes me back. What year is it?
Oh,
these are from the late 1900s, I believe.
These are would be late. This is probably 88.
Yeah, that Bad Moon War Boss is rad. I remember that being in metal in the back of the White Dwarf.
Yep.
Yeah.
I always thought the squats were hilarious because you've got like a squat with like an auto gun, a squat with a last pistol, and a chain sword that's like a knife. And then you got a plasma gun, or sorry, a melta gun. Oh no, it's a plasma gun.
Yeah.
And then you have a needler, like an elf, like a shuriken gun.
The shuriken catapult. Yeah, yeah.
And then the last one is that the laser, like just the dwarf like multi laser.
Oh, which one, on the right or the left?
On the far right.
Oh, that's a las gun. Just a las gun.
Is it just a las gun?
Yeah, yeah.
They're awesome though. This takes me back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven's
guys, let's run battle at the farm. I'll get my 10 Crimson Fists.
Yeah. That's back in the day when they were space orcs.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. But yeah, looking great there, Steven.
Cool.
Nice
awesome
work.
job, yeah.
Steve Cornish. Steve Cornish is also from the UK. Pops in
Belt
occasionally.
suit. Cool.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's an awesome base.
Yeah, he's been experimenting with his basing game, and I think he's done a beautiful job there.
Yeah, dude, those invisible spirits are so good. You can't even see them. They look
seriously.
phenomenal.
Yeah, they passed their stealth check for sure.
I thought this was like Frodo with the ring on.
Oh,
yes.
or it could be Slar Marbo. He could be hidden somewhere. There's a booby trap on this base.
Yeah.
Dave Humble suggests it's a Tau stealth suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, that's so cool. That looks rad. That looks like, man, very, very good job.
Josh is heading off. He says, so long and thanks for all the fill.
You're welcome. That's what I bring best is the fill.
Enjoy.
Awesome. Have a good one, Josh. We'll see you soonish, I think. And then finally we have Veronica Redmond.
Very nice.
Rad.
Pin up this awesome Canon S.
Yeah.
There's some conversion parts in there for sure. Like her head's different and that sword's different.
I love the back banner. That's super cool. That's a super cool addition there. My Sisters of Battle are pink armored too. So I always appreciate that. I like the bubblegum pink here. Mine are more like a more magenta-y pink, but
Right.
love that. Looks rad. Looks super rad.
Yeah, I always have a soft spot for that like Slaneshi pink, that like really deep magenta with like edges.
Yeah. Super rad. But yeah,
Those are
super
great.
good job.
She looks fantastic.
Yeah,
Awesome.
she does. That's super awesome.
Yep. Thanks very much for sharing.
Yeah, very much so.
Oh, Dave Hummel's going to head off. Same here. 4 a.m. comes early. Good night. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Dave. And Jake.
Yeah. Thanks,
you.
Dave. Appreciate you coming.
Take it easy, Dave.
Awesome.
End of slideshow.
End of slideshow. We are also at the end of the episode.
We did it pretty good. Pretty close to 9. Like, that's pretty good.
So, yeah, not too bad.
Only 6 minutes over means that I was like pretty much exactly on fill time. That's about
Did we pick up a new subscriber? Oh, damn it. We're still at 5.99. Hopefully somebody listening to this, if you can hear the sound of my voice,
yes,
Subscribe now. Fantastic.
Like and subscribe, right?
But yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Phil,
Yeah, thanks for coming.
thank you very much for coming on. It was absolutely awesome.
Hey, the pleasure's all mine. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
It was definitely cool, particularly after all these years of watching your channel and meeting you in person at Adepticon.
Yeah, it was wonderful to be recognized. So I appreciate that. So thank you guys.
Yeah, it was definitely cool, like talking to you. Like I ran into you when we were at the bar with Adam.
Yeah.
We were having dinner, and I just like hung out with you guys and talked for like an hour.
Yeah, it was awesome. Loved it.
Excellent. That is super cool. But yeah, thank you for joining us for our in between seasons bonus episode. Jake and I have to talk about when season 5 is going to begin. I've got a rough schedule worked out.
We're trying to figure out if we start before San Diego Comic-Con or right after San Diego Comic-Con. So like that's the
Yeah.
I think after makes more sense, but like we could I'm willing to discuss. So
Looking at the schedule, I think you're probably right as well. So I think we'll probably do it just after that, just after San Diego Comic-Con. But yeah, it's a crazy 6 months of, well, not what that be, crazy 5 months of the rest of the year kind of thing. But yeah, absolutely awesome. So everybody, don't forget, if you haven't checked out Phil's channel before, go and take a look at it now. There is a link in the notes below, which would be super cool. Go and like and subscribe and comment there,
Yes, please.
as well as doing it here. Don't forget, get us over that 600.
yeah, for sure. Do both. Like,
Maybe you can get us to 700 by the time we go to San Diego.
remember, guys,
Exactly. Yeah.
guys and girls, it costs you nothing to like and subscribe. So
Yep.
Yes.
So like and subscribe.
Absolutely. Phil,
is there anything you want to promote or talk about or
mention?
Yeah, just head over, check out the channel, the Glacial Geek. I've got a Facebook page and I've got an Instagram. Not the best at social media, but I think I bring the energy certainly on the video. So come and check it out. If you didn't find this annoying, then you'll love my videos.
Fantastic. Let's go.
Yeah.
are we good, Dave?
I think we are good.
Everybody, thank you guys so much for joining us. It was awesome having Phil on. We're glad to have you guys back after a short hiatus. Dave and I will continue our vacation for the next couple of weeks, or not really vacation. We're all still working, but we will not be on for the next couple of weeks. We will post to let you guys know what we actually land on. But either way, if anybody's going to San Diego Comic-Con, we'll see you there. If anybody's going to Nova, all three of us will see you there. If anybody's going to Gen Con, I'll see you there. Dave, I don't remember if you said you're going to Gen Con, but I'll be there as well. The Army Painter team will be there as well. A huge thank you again to our sponsor, the Army Painter. Make sure you guys post anything you're working on in the Facebook page, and we'll cover that when we come back. Thank you again, and as always, do not forget to build, paint, play.
Shut up and sit down.